Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, exciting to see how today goes down, Chance. Big changes in the Florida camp, and of course, Atlanta FaZe coming in this one, the clear-cut favorites. But hey, we will see what happens, because let's face it, here in the Call of Duty League, anything can and will happen.
Ali might be correct. You know, a very bold Florida pick coming in those like final seconds there. That certainly threw me off. And I think one thing that stood out to me just for the maps and modes, Atlanta FaZe like purposely chose Team B, which isn't super uncommon, but they also picked the Outbagger Fortress Hardpoint for the map 4. So Atlanta FaZe chose the map that they banned the most in the previous stage. And I mean, Miles, we're accustomed to this. When Atlanta is on top, they flex the map pool. They work on things. They try out the new maps. And always make those improvements, but Atlanta FaZe, I don't think, are particularly threatened by Florida.
Oh, classic FaZe. We'll see if this itty-bitty roster mania pays off for the Florida Mutineers, but on the other side of the board, you know, size matters not. Atlanta FaZe, here we go. First plays on the hard point, kills out and abound, but as you know, friends, the first doesn't matter too much. Here comes the fight towards second, and FaZe already trying to get in there. Mutineers holding it down.
Nice little opening break as well. The observers did a nice job catching the nades off the rip to try to open up the left side of the map, but so it goes on P1. Not easy to collect time for really either team, and you try to keep things under control as much as possible. And Brack, so much emphasis put on trying to find Cellium. He really took his time trying not to make noise, and it just does not make any difference. Atlanta FaZe have dominated the bottom side of the map, getting set up for P2.
Fellow wins a big one, though. That's 3-0 for Tyler Fellow, back into the squad now, finding himself in the league for the first time in a long time, and already looking all right. Can he take care of a few more? Slasher indeed. Eyes towards the back line now. His teammates are all over it, and this is a good look from the Mutineers. They had a tough run of things to start things off. They do lose those spawns for a Mo. Holding it down now, though. Fellow still alive and kicking in the feed also.
It's beautiful and meaty, right? I think Atlanta FaZe at the bottom side of the map, and Tyler Fellow opens it up and tries to take over, but as is typical on aBeZy, neither team able to get any semblance of control. We've only had 9 points scored, you know, a minute and a half almost into this game, but finally Atlanta FaZe, you see aBeZy getting the 5 spree. Actually, the dude hasn't died. He is like, the team has 10 points. He's trying to outkill the total score for his team. Did an okay job, and finally some semblance of control. You're able to stabilize, you get the back spawns, and FaZe can finally start to accrue a decent chunk of time.
All big work there from Havoc. Opens the front line up now. Cellium drops over towards Simp now, doing what he can to stay alive at the point. 20 seconds remaining here. Rotation's already done. We're going to split the difference right now for the Mutineers. A couple of players trying to stop the bleeding over here. A couple of players trying to set up for next on the other side of the map. And there we go. aBeZy 6-2, still getting things going. Slasher 4-4. All things considered, nothing too wrong with the performance right now at FaZe. Mutineers, let's see if they can get it going here on P3.
And this could be a painful moment unless Capsule goes large. And well, you see in the feed, Capsule does exactly that. I think the final stun is maybe looking for Slasher. All those Florida arrows are searching for him, so they have an idea of what they need to watch, but it's covered the ladder. Brack has it on lock.
Oh.
I think it's just about the pistol. Can he make it work? He cannot. Cap has it covered. And Cap going on a 3 spree in this moment is keeping his team in the game.
Trying to make it sneaky up the ladder. That side comes with their good coverage from Mutineers. And again, it's Capsule on a 4 spree now. Keep the kills going. Any more to be had here? Indeed, from the hit. Simp, though, who flies by that doorway. Snaps in from Brack. Good shot. Slasher stops the play for a moment. Good work out the Mutineers, though. Holding down this hard point. Havoc running amok here on aBeZy. Looking towards Nu, though. That's where Capsule is now. Sneaky. Can he hold the fight? He does. Get himself 1. Oh, nearly the second. Great work, though. His teammates now trying to reinforce over towards Nu.
And you see Florida going to take their time, though. They got the outer lane. They had the closer spawns, and maybe Capsule will just be the first man in the mix. He was the first one to die, and now he's the first one back in, and a flying Havoc moves in. And Florida on rotation. I mean, that's 2 for 2, where they've been pretty on point until Slasher, the anchor for the team, is going to soften up the blow. Though right now doesn't have too much help inside of the hill, and the contest is already in, and he's going to be spinning in circles looking for these kills as Slasher delivering for Atlanta, keeping things under control.
Guy, anyone who's played any form of ranked play so far knows it's not an easy hard point to get involved in. Guns up, get those submachine guns firing, and here we go on a Cellium who's going to turn this attack 56 into a sub at that kind of range. But it's Slasher, the man on the mission. 10 and 6 for him. 5 spree comes to a close, holding it down, breaks in for the Mutineers.
This is just a lot of pressure I think the Mutineers have been able to bring to the table, and they're going to be able to collect those final 20 seconds as well. So Florida, who now have been, what, 2 for 3 on rotations, at least able to get the final 2 hills. This is a moment where they can manage to break this next one. They will set themselves up in prime position, but aBeZy's got one side cover, and you see a very tight setup. All 4 of those Atlanta arrows on the bottom left corner. They know exactly the setup they want. They have exactly that.
Here we go. into the kitchen. Cafeteria's going to be up. The Slasher now is finding the kills. Simp's going to pick a corner, get himself a nice booth. Not a lot of tables available in this tiny space. He's going to take what he can get. 3 players now through the backside. They read the backside. This says private. They don't care. In come the Mutineers. They're cleaning up. The trades are there. Simp, though, wins a couple more. Reinforcements from Cellium now. Oh, but it's Havoc. Oh, it's Havoc again. It's Havoc. Oh, my God. What was the knife punch? You bring a gunfight to a knife and the punching and the kicking and the screaming and the Simp.
That'll be your Black Ops 4 world champ, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for the old shot punch. Simp pulling an old trick out of the bag.
Wow, what a run, son. 6-0 for Simp in this life alone. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what happened. We're over 100 points now for FaZe. What an electrifying start to the series.
I mean, still, though, only a 14-point game, so a run like that can only get you so far. And, I mean, back towards P1, well, Simp is the man to stop. If you can't kill him, then you're not going to have a good time. And at least they're finally able to get a trade. But on this P1, you go back to sort of that TAC 56 standoff sort of battle. Those top lanes to top lanes. But I guess Cellium worried enough about the pressure, trying to keep things under control. He's not chowing the hill just yet. And this has been a good chunk of time on P1 Florida have been able to get. Admittedly, all just for a nearly tied up game, but certainly Mutineers have some fight in them.
We got a lot of fight left in us here on aBeZy. What a map 1. Flasher though, looking for that top side control. Very, very important. Keeping these players at bay. Brack though's not going to have any of that. Takes clean care of him. P2 spawn still sweet. Fellow though, looking to be the man to make the play happen. Cell sniffs him out. Shots at range. Stops any damage really happening. Oh boy, but wait, the next fight's up. And it's Capsule toe-to-toe with Cellium, one of the best to ever do it. And now he's on a 5.
You gotta love the evolution too, right? I think once the league stepped up their snaking game, Cellium had to figure out a way to evolve, and now he just snakes the air when he's on the top platform. So he is a demon, and if he's on the map, I'll be going a different direction. And good news for Florida, the direction Cell is not is towards the hill. They have to contest in, and all these 50-50 gunfights trying to get him through, and so far just trades back and forth.
Yeah, wonderful trades though. Again, great work here from the observers. You're able to see all these different angles these teams are taking here. Mutineers though, they're starting to hold the numbers. Reinforcements coming in through the back. Cell's tagged up. Slasher still trying to keep him safe, and it's Fellow keeping the play alive, keeping the guns up, keeping them smoking hot. A few more. Tyler Fellow can only do so much alone. Good work though. Havoc now from the back, trying to clean these players up. FaZe with a slight lead going into the top side of the map.
Yeah, well, at least the situation last time, Capsule had to pop off and make a big play to get this rotation. This time, their entire team is set up around the hills, so it should be much easier to lock down AC, and obviously a bit of a necessity to lock this hill down. And maybe it's Slasher again gonna be the guy to try to open things up, because now you have Capsule so far away from his teammates. It's Fellow by himself in the hill, only has the attack to try to make this happen. And even you got the Hellstorm or the cruise missile softening up the blow, and just like that, Atlanta FaZe, they got the break they needed.
Well, Chance has got BO4 in his mind, but for now, we're going to get on the minds of the Florida Mutineers with a listen in.
Lay down watching his office.
Just one orange yet.
One time as well.
Okay. Make sure
I'm waiting. Watching his office.
He's top orange. He's top orange of time. One top orange, one at a time.
He's behind AC. Behind AC.
One black box. One black box. Looking for you, top office. Three. We're missing one. He's coming. He's in time. They're gonna spawn office on you. Spawn office on you. We sure? Yeah. Side door office. Got him.
Got him.
I got one.
Slasher.
Yeah, we're looking for Aussie. He's probably top.
Okay. No. Maybe he's in. I'm top right now. I got initial.
I'm getting P2 information.
I'm with you.
I have all your front hall.
One's coming left. I have the back cross. I have all the back.
He hit your S2.
Okay. That's your dead.
Nice, that's him.
I got him. They're gonna flank P2.
Cell and aBeZy.
aBeZy cell.
What do you guys do, I think? Yeah, dead.
I have all right. He's top. I'm all right. I don't have your S1. I do not have your S1. No. You can.
Okay, no, I'm just gonna hold.
Still top. He's holding top.
They're hitting left. They're hitting left. Nothing went right.
Yeah.
He's hit us. Hold on.
Okay,
Get your back door. All two. No, back door to graffiti.
I have hall one.
One shot at aBeZy. Is that planner? Back door.
Austin back door.
Gotta get there. One's S1.
Yo, I saw you
I heard that, Braming.
I'm trying to sign on me. I got one side. I have your S1. One more side.
To the back.
Fine, dead. Two. They're gonna spawn out. They're gonna spawn out P2. No, top office. S1 stairs. Cellium. Yeah, you got
S1.
We're missing one. We're missing Slasher. Yeah, we need to go into this.
To the back first. Nice, good
job. One's hallway. He went from laundry. Multiple new on me. I got one more new on me. Two in red. There's two in red.
They know we're spawning here. I'm gonna go.
One's laundry. Pushing you out now. Remember, let's funnel them through P2.
what a hard point we've got here on aBeZy. Great comms chance out the brand new Florida Mutineers roster. Good control, picking up everything. And now, a little bit of a lead for FaZe.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, the little lead from FaZe, if not for like a couple different pop-off moments from a few different players, Florida have been outplaying them through and through. It's just they got to stop the pop-off moments. And, well, Slasher has been one of the guys to make the plays, and he's the man backing down Fellow. But Florida Mutineers, for the moment, trying to swarm the hill. It does not look like this versus push is going to get them anywhere.
Well, we'll see. Fellow do what he can. Nades in. Trying to clear his players out. Bit of damage. Not enough for the kill. Teammates not enough for their trades then. They're all going to close out, and it's going to be Simp, the man up top. He's got everything now to deal with the push coming in from the Mutineers. Can he hold it? Backdoor cleaned up. aBeZy's not going to get pressured. Less than 15 to go on the point. You might send one more player in there to try to get a kill or two, but eyes are on the next hard point. That's the game plan, Florida. Let's see if it pays off. FaZe looking close to the win.
Oh, man. I mean, this is going to be the hill that just turns into the nightmares for Florida against Atlanta in this match. And, yeah, prime position now. 20 seconds away, and Atlanta gets the win. You're going to a P1 where, I mean, it is just going to be a few seconds collected by either team. And for the moment, Atlanta FaZe, they know their job just to slay, just to keep things under control. And if the game plan for Atlanta is to slay, you expect they'll be able to deliver.
Yeah, so far it's looking fantastic. P1, a iron grip on it for now. Mutineers fanning out across the map, looking for anything. Capsule can't win it upstairs. Up next, Brack. He's been taken care of. Simps on a run. You're looking at the victory here, but no one in the hard point just yet. FaZe, it's a matter of seconds. 10 for the win.
Yeah, just easy reads. Too much time. And, I mean, Florida in this situation, they just have to flood. They have to fly. And if you are sprinting in open lanes, you're going to get picked apart and chopped down and gone to bed. Atlanta FaZe, 2 more seconds to walk away with map 1. Someone get that time.
Somebody's going to get them cheeks in the hill, and there we go. Atlanta FaZe take map number 1. What a fight, though, out the Mutineers. Good looks from them, not only in the kills, but also in the comms. We'll see if they can keep that going throughout the series. But for now, Atlanta FaZe, it is another day in the office.
And I mean, this is a team that now is like afforded the ability to play with a little bit of comfort, right? Like the amount of stress that you have to feel after a year of just constant second place after second place. You want to put your head through a wall. And obviously, if you're like, you know, the talks of dynasty that were around the team and they said, screw that, we're making a roster change because we need the win. Now that they have that again, they can play with freedom. And hey, a smile on Slasher's face. It's been a few years since we've seen that, at least consistently so. And with the performance like that, easy to understand why. 24 kills for him and Cell just able to do their things. And I think Slasher had a few pop-off moments where he's making the big play on hills. And of course, Simp, the cherry on top with the 6 or 7 spree where he just dominated inside that laundry hill.
Yeah, I think we sort of broke the rules of physics there. Simp took a knife, or blocked the knife with his fists. There's some sort of anime thing going on there, and the man
Steven Seagal could never.
Not even close. Chris Lair, though, all in the days. 250-176, the final game scored there. Big workout of nearly everyone there on FaZe. A strong showing to start the series off here, that aBeZy. That was a fun one indeed. Good signs of life, though, from the Mutineers. Chance. We'll see if they can keep things rolling in a search and destroy. But I think your point to FaZe, they've managed to finally rip the band-aid. They've finally got themselves back into the top spot. Will they relinquish it? God only knows. But for now, let's have a look at these highlights.
Well, this is the first one for Slasher where this is the hill he goes on a 5 spree on, and Florida should have been set up, should have had the control of the hill, and could have ran up the lead a little bit. And this is the other situation where if Florida get the break, there would be 24 seconds left on the hill. They have the opportunity, and just a couple of those moments where either Simp or Slasher is making a big play and just stuffing away so much of the time. So I mean, I would say all things considered for Florida, it looked good. Like, I know the score line towards the end wasn't ideal, and I guess maybe getting pieced up isn't a good sign, but I say through and through, their hard point looks strong. It's just key moments where Atlanta pops off, so how much can you really read into that?
Yeah, it's hard to game plan against, oh no, aBeZy did it, or oh no, there was another Cellium moment. It's very hard to game plan against that, but I think for now, FaZe, smooth sailing there in the opening map. We'll see if the kills can keep going there from the Mutineers. Again, I was impressed by the comms, impressed by the sort of immediate turnaround. They kept it very close until they couldn't. But all smiles there across the board from Atlanta FaZe. And Slasher, indeed, a couple of key moments where he really cost that boys or helped them out pick up that big win. We'll see what happens now, though. Chance on our double dip of Ella Silo. Search and Destroy coming up right now. After the break, we'll go to Control. And of course, we've got Hardpoint and Search and Destroy a bit after that. Fortress and Hotel, if we have to go the distance. I will be very surprised if we do have to go to that Game 5, to be completely frank, mate. But, hey, crazy things have happened here in the CDL.
Well, I would say just for the fact that, like, for Hardpoint against FaZe, it's the first time we've seen this Florida roster. There's not too much we can really, like, glean off of that either direction. For the Search and Destroy, I think we can. Like, I think the old Florida roster, like, the expectation would be to go toe-to-toe against Atlanta FaZe. And admittedly, Atlanta on LSC look absolutely terrifying, and aBeZy is back to being, like, on his BS as the First Blood King. But I think Mutineers could have given him a run, and now we get to see, with all of the different roster changes that they have made, if they can still contend at the very top level in this game mode. Obviously, a lot of potential. He was an S&D kid like a decade ago, and it's still on point in that game mode. Havoc's still a playmaker, but it'd be interesting to see if they're going to have that same sort of spice and flavor when they had guys like Major Maniac on the team.
Yeah, the iciest player maybe of all time. Incredible composure. Wish him the best of luck. Simp's having a yawn on the bottom side of your screen. We'll see if he can't pep his step right up as we go into this LSC Search and Destroy. Charles, we were talking before this was started. I think we've only played one game of LSC Search and Destroy and ranked together. Only one.
Yes, I don't know how many I've played. It has to be like 60 or 70 at this point, but this one just escapes me. So I don't have a ton of reps on it personally. Atlanta FaZe, though, does. It is not necessarily their bread and butter because aBeZy, they've just absolutely floored the entire league on this map, but this would be their second best map with like a 7-2 record, and they were just in prime form at Major II. And it's not like you don't know the game plan. Cellium is going to have a pistol in hand. He's going to be head glitching the wall, getting intel like over on the field side of the map. Slasher's going to have his TAC 56 over on like the radio tower side of the map. And the Terrors get to run the middle. But this is the square, because again, the expectation going into this with the old Florida roster, this would be a going toe-to-toe absolute bloodbath. We get to see if the Mutineers still have that same kind of firepower.
Yeah, we'll see. Don't forget as well, Atlanta FaZe, that incredible comeback against the LA Guerrillas on this very map and mode. We'll see though. We got another iconic, historic Search and Destroy map on its way. aBeZy clearing out the A-bomb site. Couple of bullets, stun check. Nobody's home. In they go.
And now you're just waiting for the trap to be set effectively, right? You're waiting for that double door hit to come through, and Capsule maybe waiting for the timing. I mean, you got a player on site, aBeZy stunned up, but no one's jumped us yet, but the double hit is through. First blood for Florida.
Tremendous amount of composure there out of Florida, and they're holding it down. Capsule and Brack find another one. Cellium now 1v4. Nearly impossible. Surely not. 30 seconds. Mutineers, what a great round. Fantastic composure chance. Patience paid off. They're first on the board.
Absolutely perfect. I mean, hey, no trophies going to be out in the first round. I think the information they were able to get with the stuns and nades of like, we know at least one of those Terrors is going to be on the bomb planning. We know the other one's going to be right next to him. And Capsule, instead of trying to push in, make the hero play by himself, he waits for the reinforcements to come through. And as soon as they got that double chow in, the round just collapsed after the fact. So perfectly executed round one for Mutineers. Exactly what they wanted to have happen.
Amazing again just to see. We blessed with the X-ray vision. We can see the player outlines through the walls. The players can't. All they're working off of is audio cues, and albeit there's a lot of them in this game, but
you know, just because players in rank can see through walls, the pros cannot.
Oh god, that tickled me far more than it ever should. Speaking of tickle, Capsule pops Deddy. He's thinking about it a little bit more than tickling right now. Oh, he's going in. Did he spot that player up top? Slash, he saw some shadows. Comms passed over. aBeZy's got it lined up here over towards this side of the map. There's the one-on-one, and it's a big win out of Capsule.
Oh, I was going to see, yeah, if you jump a little bit too high, Slasher's going to rip your head off, and, well, he does exactly that. So first blood doesn't make a difference, or actually Slasher got it, so it absolutely does. Man advantage for FaZe. The B-bomb site is open. But you have so much map presence, at least for Atlanta. I mean, they've got these final two players at least contained in a section of the map.
Yeah, that Vaznov, Puckett brought it up on the desk. It did receive a wink-wink nerf. But as far as we're concerned here in the CDL on the size of the maps we play with, watch this bad boy cook. Simp, eyes on, knows something's up. He's the man watching that B-bomb site, but it looks like we might be going back over towards A. Cellium, did he spot Brack? No. He's snaking away. Definitely saw that. Fight's on.
Yeah, now Brack is just going to be trapped in between two different players, and he is going to be isolated and stuck, and maybe Havoc will have the opportunity to make a play, but how quick Simp is to try to make this read, but it's a standoff moment, and Havoc, the patience pays off for the 2v2, an opportunity to make it happen. I think Cellium is going for the wrap, so the bomb is going to get planted. Mutineers might have pulled this one out of the bag.
Unbelievable 200 IQ play there, Havoc. He's 2-0 so far. Brack's got himself set up over by Kegs. Slasher finds the first. Ah, there it is from upstairs. What a retake. Clean as you like. Squeaky bum time for a minute. Atlanta FaZe, though, bounced back magnificently. That's going to be all tied up 1-1 as we let the dead silence run out.
I mean, this is like, it's just Atlanta FaZe feels unfair at times, you know? There's a couple teams where, like, when your playmaker falls, you're like, okay, you're confident of these two guys in the situation. Never against Atlanta FaZe. Every single one of these players is able to clutch. All of them can deliver in any given situation. So, I mean, a 200 IQ play out of Havoc for the patience to not play it with only like 10 seconds left on the clock and to wait for Simp to jump in. Doesn't matter at all. Atlanta FaZe get the round.
Good stuff. Atlanta FaZe. Difficult situation to be in as they open up the round so brilliantly. But there we go. Tied up 1-1. Couple of seconds now for these two teams to get some play calls or ideas what they want to be doing, especially on these offensive rounds. We'll see what FaZe bring to the table this go around. Mutineers, a defensive spread. Pretty standard. One towards the top side of the map, two towards B, one in the middle.
And gets stunned as well. I think Capsule might have connected on a few different players in that moment, but here's Havoc, dead silence, thinking about making him play, and that is more ARs than you were used to looking down that lane. Instant first blood for FaZe.
Havoc's long gone in this round. Capsule not moving silently right now, but he's got himself a top position here, able to get into the fight in a moment. Cellium on the other side of that wall, he's going to be a problem for him. Tons of noise being made right now. Slasher, look at that peek. There he comes, just over the crest. Catches out another. As the Mad Titan adds another to the pile.
Yeah, now it's just basically a hunting game. If you can kill Slasher quick enough and get the Daddy reset, you're feeling comfortable, or Slasher is going to just go for the ace and just play his game. Loves to play for picks and might try to collect all four. Cellium trying to bait, stay alive, doesn't do too much, but fellow in a spot like this with a trophy of all things, it is hopeless.
He does have the trophy. No dead silence there. No problem. FaZe pull ahead.
The dual threat, I'm telling you, man. It's the terrors inside, it's the ARs on the outer lanes, and Slasher loves the pick style for S&D. And again, to talk about the dual threat, aBeZy the First Blood Reaper. If for some reason the action is not in his direction, well, this is when Slasher is quite literally at his best. So an incredibly well-rounded S&D game plan for Atlanta FaZe. Nice little advantage they have, at least on the map so far.
Little sort of perturbed, little perplexed look on aBeZy's face for a minute there.
Well, he hasn't gotten a first blood this game, so it's just, it's like, it's foreign territory.
Is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Let's see what happens in this round, though. Who's going to get that first blood this time round? Simp dead silence now, roaming the halls of aBeZy downstairs. He might be able to catch out these players on bomb site. Oh, he does! What a snap. Can't get the second, though. There is the trade. That play, though, is going to give everything you need to FaZe to make the next moves.
Oh, I thought for a moment that door might have been cracked to actually peer through it, but Havoc playing a delicate game. Cellium, ooh, could have had a freebie. A little bit unfortunate. Hey, fellow's going to take that every day of the week. Man advantage. And aBeZy's pouncing in with attack, looking for a Vaznev to pick up and can't find it. So, well, finally he's able to collect. Has the right gun for the job, and now you have Slasher on the flank.
Slasher could do no wrong right now, man. He can't do anything wrong. Look at him go. There's one. The next player's around the corner. A 7 spree now for Litigo. There's Brack. Finds himself in a tough 1v2.
And that is a repositioning from Slasher, where it's just, I mean, for Brack, where do you go? Wait for the dead silence and hope for it, but not easy to read these players.
Oh, no, he's never going to read this as well. Look at the spot. Whoa, maybe
hey, nope, there's your first.
20 seconds, dead, he popped. Now we get the go button.
This man is locked in. He has not blinked a single time in the duration of this clutch. Still has to pick up the bomb, though, and again, he knows it's aBeZy. Has to make noise, clears out all the corners, but now it's just about the timing. aBeZy just has to walk in. He knows where Brack is going to be.
Here it comes. aBeZy, though, makes moves around the outside. He read it perfectly. The door, the steps, all those noises. Brack could have held maybe the plant a second longer and got it, but aBeZy, just the fear. The ghost of aBeZy roaming those halls. Crazy rounds, chance. We're in for a good one here in the search. Hey, it's a different roster. Things are still looking good.
I mean, not bad. I mean, the opportunity's certainly still present, but the actual score line, not ideal for the moment. 3-1 is certainly not insurmountable, but not fun. You feel like this is around Florida Mutineers, a little bit desperate to get the win.
It's tough to pull that 4-1 back. Let's see if we can make it a 3-2 instead. Mutineers now. Plenty of players lined up on the inside of the site. Simp's looking for something. Slasher invests the cruise. What can he find?
Hey guys, they're all inside.
Yeah, they're all inside. No one's out and about. Might be able to catch one out there. Fellow, though, Fellow has got Cellium's name and number all map long so far. And Simp, ooh, no hops. Brack takes him.
I mean, hops or not, I think he was getting cut down anyway, so that's a nice little aggressive play on the outer side of the map for Brack, and he might have spotted aBeZy as well. Not that the information is going to go too far. I think Havoc is going to stay with the exact same game plan, but now Havoc's put himself in a corner. aBeZy should win this 10 times out of 10, and a little moment where Havoc goes flying and just feeds the intel, all for another 1v2 for Brack.
Oh, I love this. So Brack puts himself in the right spot, able to take care of the player on bomb. That's going to be aBeZy. Dead silence popped. Right into the fight he goes, and he's got it quick enough. Can Brack pull something miraculous off? Here comes the fight. Spinning, gunning. Oh, the brain was there, the hands were there, but just not the luck from the COD gods. Atlanta FaZe once again proved to be a little too much.
Yeah, that is just, I mean, absolutely tragic. I mean, that's a 2v3. I think Slasher finds his individual pick, and I think it is literally just for Havoc to go for the repositioning on the A site, and like his foot gets spotted on the Dolphin dive by aBeZy and just ends up feeding him the free kill. So the smallest of little things can cost you a round, and Atlanta FaZe is certainly a team that will take full advantage. I mean, Elasilo, it's a map they love, 4-1 lead, pretty comfortable so far.
Oh, that's wonderful. With a search and destroy specialist, he's self-appointed Slasher, 9-2. He has been absolutely brilliant so far in LSE. Havoc eats that name. That is going to really slow down the play. aBeZy trying to get them tags through the walls, and all those members of the Mutineers now lined up. Brack, the only one who's not going to be in this fight. And here we go. Stun check. Nades are in. Havoc. Oh, no! They line up for Tyler Ferris. They line up for aBeZy. 5 in a row.
The Greek tragedy has already been written, and I think for FaZe, maybe more of the comedy side of things. Slasher's making moves. aBeZy's got everybody tagged up, and he does get traded, but you see his teammates getting sent in for the kill. And again, Brack in a 1 versus 2. This time against the dual ARs for Atlanta FaZe. Round 3. We'll see if he can clutch.
Brack, you've got to get at least one. Come on. Put on a show for the fans. Something to add to the highlight reel and to get your boys on the board and stay alive. Keep yourselves off that map point. 30 seconds.
I think the question for FaZe is how quickly can he trap him in on this A bomb site after he plants, or does he have freedom to actually try and move? Dead silence pop after the fact, but he opened the door. Atlanta, they have to know he got out.
Well, they've got the bomb site now, and Slash is going to be directly on the defuse. This is a reposition from Brack, and he's moving. But is he moving fast enough? No, slow. Long gone. He's been red. No problem. That's the defuse. FaZe dive right on it. A tough call. What a move from FaZe. Again, it just feels like they can do no wrong chance.
I don't even know how tough of a call it was for him, because they're over there just laughing at it. But this was the setup early on where aBeZy is like stunned up, has a couple players tagged, but I think Capsule was made weak early on and effectively gets a collat to set his teammates up. But even for the play call after, they heard Brack open the door. Brack might have popped dead silence after that, but they're like, all right, well, he left the bomb site. I guess we could just take it. And again, he's play calls 5-1 lead. Nothing but domination for Atlanta.
And aBeZy's out. You've tightened up the defense now of the Mutineers. You have let aBeZy make the play. He's roaming now as the little goat climbs the mountain. He's got the backside of the map all open. I mean, this is a power position and a half right now.
And at least he's going to have the intel. Not easy shots to connect with, but he's gotten the information on 2 different players, and Cellium is able to clean up a player on the flank. So Havoc's trying to make a play. Cellium shutting him down on one side of the map. 2 other players aBeZy's able to spot out. And I mean, just look at the positioning of where Florida have to go to hunt these players down. That is looking like GG to me.
Yeah, this is a real tough one. Mutineers stretched a little too thin. 25 seconds to go. aBeZy now, he is the predator. Brack getting some shots in. Knives up. Capsule can't win it. Fellow Cell trades are there. Brack still keeping the play going. Can he catch out anymore? No, it's aBeZy from atop the mountain. Fellow, though, keeping the fight. 10 seconds left. It's a 1v2. Can you get in there, Fellow? Can you do something unthinkable? The answer is no. Search and destroy comes to a crashing close. The Atlanta FaZe take the lead 2-0 here in the series.
Technically, many of those rounds were close, but in reality, not even a little bit. Atlanta FaZe, bread and butter on Elasilo. I mean, one of the maps that even in the grand finals, I think they were completely on point with, and no signs of slowing down. When they need aBeZy to make the big plays, he delivers. When you need Cell or Slasher to be watching the flanks and doing the AR things on the AR maps, they get it done. And I mean, hey, Slasher, back-to-back, 2 maps in a row, main Slayer on the team.
Big man, Austin Lidigo. There we go. Great stuff there. 6-1 the final score of Elasilo. And I will say, Chance, are we looking at another search and destroy record in the making, maybe, for Atlanta FaZe? They went very, very clean all the way through the Major 2 over in Boston. And so far, things are looking great. Here we go, though, the halfway point of the series, or if you're a FaZe fan, hopefully the very, very end. Let's find out, though, if the Mutineers can pull back something special. LSE low control. It's the swing mode. Lando called it, and it's basically where all the shenanigans, everything hits the fan. We'll find out what hits the fan off this quick break. We'll be right back.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Well, Atlanta FaZe find their 8th Search and Destroy win in a row, and no short in part to this man, Simp, as he had a fantastic run at Major 2 chance.
Yeah, and as is tradition, I would say with Atlanta FaZe, anytime they win a tournament and they like someone gets given an MVP, the entire community is like, no, this player should have gotten the MVP. No, this guy should have gotten the MVP, because they just keep trading back and forth. They're all elite, okay? This time Simp got it. It just is what it is. And obviously he's even making highlight reel moments in this series alone. So Simp, to the surprise of literally no one, gross at Call of Duty.
Gross Call of Duty. Look at these highlights. This is on local, boys and girls. Whew. Gross. He's got something special. That kid is something. Here we go. Bit of body shooting, you name it. All
Yeah.
It all happened. Oh my God, what did he say? Language. There we go. Champions. Congratulations once again to Atlanta FaZe. That massive victory there in Major 2. But fast forward back to today. Up by 2 here over the Florida Mutineers as we roll towards that OpTic Texas major, but we're not going too far. We're staying on LSClo, playing control.
And just to further continue the questions for Florida Mutineers, obviously Respawn, more so hardpoint than control, but the control a little bit as well is certainly a focal point of why they're making these roster changes. The Respawn has simply not been cutting it. It has been dragging them down, where their S&D has been their shining light. Obviously a 6-1 loss on a map that they were previously undefeated on maybe could be a sign that their S&D take a little bit of a hit, and we just got to find out if their Respawn can make up for that potential slight downgrade. Of course, the Atlanta FaZe, very scary, so we might not learn too much.
Well, again, it's an interesting sort of situation as Florida Mutineers find themselves in. You're going toe-to-toe with FaZe, you know, coming right off the back of the Major 2 win, incredibly formidable at every game mode. You're looking fine, you know, close rounds, 6-1's not a very fair scoreline, but let's see how far this Florida Mutineers roster can go. Now, I know folks were asking about that when we mentioned the spree of Search and Destroy victories in just before the break. During the break, Tim from Stats got back to us. It was a 10 spree in Search and Destroy wins from LAG that Slasher was a part of back in Vanguard. Now FaZe find themselves on an 8. We'll see if they can keep that one going, of course, later on in these qualifiers going into Major 3. But for now, Florida Mutineers back to them, back to Fellow back in the league. Capitals back in the league. Can we find the goods in control? Can we stop the 3-0 from happening? Let's find out.
I would say I feel a little bit bad for Fellow as well. I think the last time he was in the league, what, the Cold War, where he gets thrown into a Dallas Empire chaotic roster change situation where he's having to swap from SMG to AR and making career moves and decisions, and he got thrown into a tough spot, and like he just ended up back in challengers, and now he's like Ghosty Senior. He's been one of the guys that's been sort of like the talent pipeline to the CDL, and now when he gets his shot again, his first match is against Atlanta FaZe, who are coming off a championship win. So it's a tough look, but gotta say, played pretty well in the first hard point. I think he had the best stat line for his team as well in the S&D. So he is certainly doing the best he can given the situation that he's in. And obviously a player that is worth paying a great deal of attention to, not just in this series, not just in the control, but for this team moving forward.
Been a long time Tyler Fellow fan. Excited to see what he can do with this Florida Mutineers roster. But for now, yeah, it's a bit of a lobby crash. We saw one of the players drop out. Not sure who it is. I'd love to name and blame. Love doing that, personally, me. But for now, we'll know in a brief moment when that lobby's up and running again. Get into this LSC low control. Get game number 3 underway again for Atlanta FaZe. Win this. You're done. Hang up the controllers, boys. Dive into rank play. Get that SR going up there. Top 250. A lot more players need to be found up there on the board. I don't know about you, Chance, but I'm going for it, mate. I'm going for top 250.
Okay.
Why are you laughing? Yeah, good luck indeed.
I'm going for it too, Miles. I'm never going to get there, but I also have aspirations.
I'm just hoping for Crimson, brother. That's me. I'm happy to dial out a Crimson by the end of the season. None of these boys, they want that. They're looking for first place and first place only. Now, we've been flapping our gums about rank play. If you haven't played it, dive in right now. It's available in Modern Warfare 2. You can get all sorts of cool goodies. I do believe at rank 5, when you do win 5 matches, you get a sexy skin. Who doesn't love a sexy skin to show off your achievement, your greatness, your ability to survive the gauntlet? It is a little crazy, so do bring a friend. I don't recommend going alone, but if you have to, keep that mic open, keep the comms going. You never know, you might make some friends. Chance, that's exactly where we met, isn't it? In rank play. I'm only kidding. What a load of nonsense.
Absolutely a lie, but we have played a great deal of ranked play together. I mean, it's nice to actually have ranked back in the mix. The CDL mosh pit was wearing thin on my mind, so now I've been able to grind again. It's been a fantastic time, and again, I haven't played a ton of El Asilo S&D in ranked, but I just watch Atlanta FaZe play and try to mimic them. For the other ones, though, plenty of reps, and I'm terrible, so I'm not getting to the top 250 ever. So
I didn't think you were going to say that whatsoever. Havoc's left his station, so I do think this delay might be taking a tiny bit longer than we thought.
Oh dear.
For now, I'm going to keep laughing about our time in rank play. Hope everyone's having a good time. I know I am. Truly, well and truly addicted. Can't wait to get back into it after these matches finish today. Study, I know you're listening. I know you're listening. More fun and games though, guys. Don't forget the OpTic Texas Major is on its way. Now, if you're not on a mobile device right now, make sure to scan that QR code. A pair of 4-day GA passes to Major 3 available to you there at Arlington, Texas. Sign up for Call of Duty League emails for a chance to win a pair of 4-day general admission passes to Major 3. Use your phone's camera, scan that bad boy, or if you're on your mobile device, callofdutyleague.com/sweepstakes. Enter for a chance to win. Come down to Major 3. It's going to be an absolute banger. All your favorite pros will be there. All the OpTic gang will be there. It'll be an absolute treat. The last time we were in Texas for a major, way back in Vanguard, Major 1, unforgettable time. One of the loudest crowds we've ever experienced. Now we're almost ready to get into this game chance. Here we go. El Asilo control.
And I think everybody knows just for a fact that I am without question the most biased caster in the league. I kind of like to see this one go the distance or at least another map. Again, I think the most interesting thing that happened in the pick and bans was just that Atlanta FaZe purposely picked the Al-Baggard Fortress Hardpoint where they have a 1-3 record. Throughout the stage 2, it was their most commonly banned hardpoint map. Now they're picking it against Florida again just to get those reps in, or maybe it's something they've been working on since, you know, the final end of the last major. So I'd like to see it. That means Florida has got to fight back and get past this control, but smiles out and bound for both teams is, I don't know, just recuperating after that S&D.
Yeah, it's a tough one to bounce back from. The mental game essentially is what we're all really fighting for here in the Call of Duty world. Everyone's thumbs work pretty good. It's them brains. It's how hard you can get hit and how many times you can keep getting back up after getting absolutely clotheslined by Atlanta FaZe. That's the question. But you know what I'm saying? Stay hydrated. Havoc's taking a good old sip of something there. Get rolling. Smiles are out. We might be back in the game. For Atlanta FaZe, though, Chance, I mean, we touched upon this a little bit briefly at the start of the show. They're back on top. Confidence is at an all-time high. You have to be feeling great in this situation.
100%. I mean, again, I think that's just, you know, if you end up losing in the finals of a tournament enough times, it absolutely just like gnaws away in the back of your head. And obviously these are 4 players across the board that anything less than a victory is gonna feel like you failed like at your job. So just to get back in the mix where you feel successful, just to relieve all that stress, feeling pretty great. And I mean, here's been a shining light for Florida, at least on this map specifically. Again, respawn has more so been the issue for Florida. They get Brack back in the mix because of stats like this, where he is having fantastic production, especially so on the defensive end. So be on the lookout for Brack, especially in this round 1.
Here we go. A couple of players down from FaZe rolling their way through the inside of El Asilo. That's going to be over directly towards the A zone, and a nade kill from Slasher to cleanups there. That's going to be a little bit of presence. Can they clean this one player out? It's all on a Simp. Solo capture towards A. Here come the reinforcements. 2 players on it. Get that stack going, lads.
This is just systematic. I mean, the perfect open break, get the nade guy on the man you want, get the tears into both the corners, and I mean, they're just controlling the pace of the game as well, nice and slow. And I mean, that 3rd tick nearly through. Florida though trying to pounce in the final seconds, and Cap actually from the top rope is able to shut him down. So just in the nick of time, they're able to buy themselves just a little bit more, and Atlanta FaZe have to come back to work off respawn.
Yeah, time, the real question here. Slasher winning big fights upstairs. Just under a minute now to play with. Atlanta FaZe get themselves over towards B. Simp's going to be there. Trophy. No, you look. There you go. Good job, mate. I was going to say, why did that blow up? But there we go. Slasher now on it. Stacks in. Going to get a gunfight or 2 in here. His teammates trusting them to take care of those angles, and they do. Segment of B gone.
And this is going to be a quick one as well, because you got aBeZy underneath you. And yeah, if you don't take care of him, he's going to be a problem fellow. Unfortunately, the wrong gun for the job, but aBeZy terrorizing all the little corners, can stack the point for a bit. Now it's 2 ticks on both of the zones. Florida, you got to get them off of it, but they have to chalk it up. And now they're going to have to try to stop them over at A, but that's going to be 2 minutes to work with for a single segment. Atlanta FaZe is looking clean.
And this is a masterclass from aBeZy. And not only the approach towards the objective, but making sure all angles were covered there, the way he dips in and out of it, helping with that little bit of progression. And now the final segment of A and FaZe are starting to heat up. Mutineers now on defense, 3-man stack. This is huge out of FaZe. They could close it out right here, right now. Is anyone in position to even stop this? Trades are there. Slasher keeps the kills going. You buy a little bit of time for the Mutineers.
And they're just being like the information men as well for aBeZy, right? Dancing around the map to make sure no one gets behind enemy lines and killing those players when they do. So Atlanta FaZe, and it was the same thing for Slasher after the first push, by the way, of like not throwing away your life, trying to keep any bit of map presence so your teammates off spawn have more of a direction of where to go. And obviously Florida putting up a decent fight right now, holding strong over towards A, but that is a very long life for aBeZy, where him and Slasher are trying to keep that pressure in mid.
And this is great work. Mutineers, whoa, Havoc is tweaking right now. Shoot dead bodies. Anything that gets in his way is in a bit of trouble. Minute left. Great snap there. 3 dead there for FaZe. The last man alive on the other side of the enemy map is going to be aBeZy, and he's way up towards that top hillside again. Finding kills this time around.
Yeah, and you see like the difference, by the way, like if you like lose your presence towards the middle of the map, FaZe, they're gonna have to spread out everywhere, but everybody finds the picks. Fellow last man standing, everybody's trapped in a corner, too many players to shoot. The stack is way too quick, and for Brack, nowhere near the place he needed to be. Atlanta FaZe, in a moment like that, snap away the round win.
Fellow
I gotta stop saying snap when I cast a lemon. That's my bad, sorry.
Sorry. You know, Fellow had to kill 3 players right then and there. That one kill from Slasher, great timing. Gives the opening there for the boys to jump on it. 3 players on a single segment like that. Bang, it was gone. No hope. Good stuff there from FaZe. Winning the attacking round. We now swap sides. See what the Mutineers have got up their sleeves. Yarr.
I'm going to be like Bart Simpson. I'm like, I will not say snap when casting Slasher. I will not say snap when casting Slasher. It's been overdone. That's my bad. We'll work on that. He is, by the way, though, main Slayer once again in the lobby. So I know we highlighted Brack's stats, but Slasher was there to shut him down. And at least on the entries so far in this round, Atlanta FaZe, I mean, plenty of map control off the rip. Things are looking oh so sweet.
Such a worthy challenge there from Capsule with Simp. So strong in those ones. Couple of lives down now for Mutineers, not to deter them too much. Nice coverage there from Brack, keeping the play alive. Forward towards the B zone we go, though. Got to watch out for the flank, though. And who is it? It's Slasher. He's right behind Fellow. And that's trouble for the Mutineers.
Nice repositioning as well. At least Cap is able to get the trade, but now you're basically sort of forced to funnel through the field side of the map and work towards B, where Cellium has been snaking for the past minute. So, I mean, talk about an immovable object. Can't get past that one, but that is where they're trying to take the play. See if Cap can make something happen.
Jesus.
Great tags and a nice little dance, but the clearance on the point is not yet there.
Incredible gun skill there from Capsule. The snaps were great. Not enough to really get anything going, though. Brack, though, knife in hand. Cellium, you've just heard him. There's the kill. Brack now keeping this going. Mutineers, 20 seconds left. They've not done a huge amount of work, but they have kept their players alive and kicking in difficult scenarios. So that last one, that might be it. As anyone able to get over towards the A zone, we'll find out, but this is not going to be easy.
Just stop the clock. I mean, you have 20 lives left, and they basically just like left the objective untouched. Someone has to stand on the point, please. Thank you. And he finally goes there just for aBeZy to get 2. Losing a round with 17 lives left is not something that feels good. Atlanta FaZe just in complete control of the game, of the round, of the map, of the series.
Yeah, Mutineers, they're allergic to the A zone there, not willing to really get in on it. I think they were looking for kills first. It was more about the guaranteed time versus the, hey, just get in there and let's just start throwing punches. Just hit the windmill. You know, the double windmill. Get out of the way. FaZe, though, we're looking at match point.
Yeah, I mean, even from the opening break, Atlanta FaZe basically had the exact amount of control on the map that they wanted to and just never really looked back. I mean, this is a team looking to perfect their craft, and obviously they were on top of things at the major, looking to ramp things up just a little bit as we continue on. And maybe for Florida, a different opening break certainly is you actually have Atlanta FaZe players moving towards the B site off the rip. If aBeZy's got attack in hand, you know what the play call is going to be, and making it work so far. Slasher's doing it with the knife. You get 3, maybe 4 bodies on point. FaZe trying to run it up quick.
Yeah, this is the run it up. This is the absolute ruthless aggression now. The first segment gone, the second on its way out. Mutineers now scrambling to try to get players forward. Up the hill they climb, and at the tippity top of Snake Mountain, it's the King Cobra himself for Cellium, and he's eating them alive. There's 22 lives left for the Mutineers to defend with. And you've got kills, but you are well trapped. Cell staying alive. You stay, you hold them back, buy a little bit of time, 2 players on B, say goodbye, go away.
And one of the worst things you would ever have to calm out is, well, Cellium is behind us. Good luck with that one. We're just not even going to bother trying to root him out. And I mean, now it's just stuck. You're going to get called out and shot and spawn trapped until Kingdom come. Brack, maybe just the next one in line. And yep, falling like dominoes.
Oh no, they are being devoured. 2 players on towards A now. First one's on the way out. Mutineers, a pin. Cellium. This is an unbelievable position to be in. He is unstoppable. Capsule finally gets it, but it's done. The game, the match is done. It is over. Okay. Atlanta FaZe. 3-0.
It's a tough spot, but if you're chasing a player down on the mountain when the other team is capping the actual zone, that's a bad sign. That was just not a good game. At least not for Florida. For Atlanta FaZe, it was great, but nothing to break down, nothing to talk about there. An absolute thrashing on control.
Those boys are cheesing right now. Look at those faces. Yep. Feeling fantastic. Confidence truly through the roof. And God have mercy on the rest of the league right now. Them boys, them demons, eating Florida for breakfast. 3-0. And again, the first 2 maps, much better than that last one. LSE low control, very, very tough there for the Mutineers. Not a tremendous amount of production from anybody, and they really were stunted. A 6-minute-ish game there. Congratulations again to Atlanta FaZe. A big win to start off the run towards Major 3.
And I think that would be -21 in a kill count over 3 rounds of control. I mean, hey, I've seen stat lines like that when I'm playing ranked, and normally I'm on the bad side of that equation. So Florida Mutineers, I feel your pain.
Yeah, that was a toughie. That was a real toughie. But that's that. Again, Mutineers, the only way is up from here on out. A fantastic start, though, to this new roster. Again, against Atlanta FaZe. We'll see how far they can go. We'll see what happens again over the next 3 weeks of play before we do get to that major. See them on local, baby, in Texas. But for now, Atlanta FaZe doing what they do best. Absolutely a whooping. 250, 176, 6-1, and then the 3-0. FaZe does what FaZe does, and FaZe did what FaZe usually does do.
And yeah, dominate. I mean, technically the Embassy hardpoint could have been a little bit cleaner if you wanted him to, but they also put on a couple different Huke mixtapes and had some nice highlight reel plays. So yeah, FaZe, if nothing else, respecting our time for the 3-0.
Yeah, they really did. Now back over to the desk to see what they think before we get into the next match.
God. How did Chance pick Florida to win this one, Allie? We were blown away.
Yeah, these guys are faded.
Chance. That was nuts. Chance going off the rails here with his predictions. We saw this 3-0 coming from Atlanta FaZe. Allie, the #1 seed beats our #11 seed. Not a big surprise here if we're looking at the numbers coming in, but let's focus in on the difference between these 2 squads here. What separates Atlanta FaZe from the teams that are battling to even make it to champs right now?
I mean, obviously, you talk about the talent across the board on Atlanta FaZe. I mean, each of these very storied players. But again, their search and destroy, once again, just looks phenomenal. And obviously, they took this time off to really refine that hard point, to really refine that control. The respawns in this series, I mean, it just looked untouchable. The LSELO, getting those offenses as well in the map, that's basically almost impossible. It's one of the in-the-middle ones. And the way that they played it, they were just like 3 steps ahead of Florida the entire time.
Yeah, and you know, I talked about before this series how they've been working on their map pool. Like when you look at the control, at the major, they're working on a CeeLo. They got so much better at it. You can see, like, it comes out to play in this series, the CeeLo control, now looking like they're dominant at that map. And then in Search and Destroy, it's pick your poison. You don't want to play these guys on Embassy, right? So you're going to have to go up against them on a CeeLo. And the way they play a CeeLo is just perfect, man. Offense and defense, like, you could see how flustered Florida Mutineers were on that map. Like, that was Florida's best Search and Destroy map, Chris.
Right.
They come in and they lose it 6-1. And it's because of what the Tiny Terrors are able to do, you know, bottom mid. And then you see, like, later in the game, the very last round, when you go rewatch it, they stack bottom mid on Florida. What does FaZe do? Blind counter and push right through field. So there's literally nothing you can do against these guys on that map. There are a lot to deal with.
All right, well, up next, we have our scuff play of the game. And Nameless, it comes from a guy that you had in your S tier. Some people on the internet didn't agree with this. Let's go to it. It's our scuff play of the game. Mr. Simp dropping the 4K, the whole team wipe coming from the hard point.
This got to be in the kitchen, right? So, I mean, like, dude, Simp is just special, man. Like, this guy is an absolute monster. I feel like people forgot what this guy can do. And honestly, this hill was the difference on this map, simply because of Simp in it. He had like 2 minutes plus by the end of this game, and it literally was 120 seconds on kitchen that Simp was sitting in there.
Simp dodges that left hook, and the rest of the game, I felt like he just took control now slamming Florida bodies against the ground. The man is dropping numbers. He still has our control streak record of 16 kills in a row. And Atlanta FaZe, our most recent trophy holders. The question is, who else in this league is going to rise up to compete with him, Allie?
Can I just say, I hate how much COD I watch because I see the HP, and obviously it means his health, but I'm just like, oh, hardpoint. I'm like, no, wait, that is just not what that means. But honestly, I'm not looking at any teams really content with them right now. After that showing, we talk about Florida being that 11th seed, but they did come in with 3 new players plugged into the roster. You know, there should have been at least a little bit different in some gameplay here, but I mean, they looked unstoppable in the series.
Just agreed, Allie. And you know, it's a bit different because you see LA Thieves come back, right?
Yeah.
And they face like a big loss. So it's like, this is another, I guess, trap game, you would call it. You're going up against a team that just made like a roster change, but they come in and they hit them with the hot 3-0, just getting more separation.
Final thought here, does it matter that you saw FaZe picking maps that they haven't really played? Should other teams take note of that they might try and do the same in the future?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, FaZe has expanded their map pool, right? They got the same team. They have the data to go back and look at, right? Like, these guys are getting better and better. Definitely terrifying for the competition, but there's a lot of strong teams out there, man. Anything can happen in Call of Duty.
Let's take a look here at our CDL point standings as they've been updated. Atlanta FaZe continues to climb, 165 now, as you're going to see the Mutineers still down there at 11th, tied with the LA Guerrillas, who are coming up next. Right now, though, we got to bring in Slasher, the man behind the AR on FaZe. He gets it done once again. And Slasher, you guys were giggling throughout that series. Who's setting the vibes in the arena today?
To be honest, it's kind of all of us. I'd say the vibiest one is maybe MC, but I think we're all just having a good time playing the game, getting better every day, and just enjoying the process. So that's really important. And then obviously when you're playing like that, like, you're gonna have a good time.
Sasha, congratulations. A good win, a quick win. Honestly, there's not too much to ask you about the series because, I mean, you guys just looked so flawless. You, especially across the board, I feel like you stepped up following Major II, especially in this first series. And, you know, you been playing any ranked play? What you been up to? What'd you eat for breakfast, honestly, at this point?
I just had a Cliff Bar. To be honest, no, I haven't got my hands on rank too much. I've been a little busy. And honestly, like, before the major, I feel like I put so much time in 8s and everything like that. Like, I was in almost every series that I've kind of taken a little bit of a step back, and I'm starting to like ramp up again as we get towards the next major. But I think just our practice overall is really good, and like some of the best practice team I've ever been on, and like the way we approach and how we're working to get better every day. So I think that's just super important.
Austin, congratulations on the win. You guys look unbelievable. You know, we've been talking to you a lot as you guys have progressed throughout this season. I wanted to ask you, like, what's the mentality like with Atlanta FaZe right now, you and the rest of the guys, as you win an event now and you look around the league and everybody's making changes, right, to try and come for that #1 spot? What's the mentality in the Atlanta FaZe camp when you see those types of things?
I mean, obviously, I think a lot of teams are making changes and trying to figure out what to do with their teams, but we more so just always focus on ourselves. I think we're the best team right now. Obviously, we just won Major II. We even thought kind of in Major I we were the best team, but we're just focused on ourselves, trying to expand our map pool and become even better because we're ahead right now, so everyone's trying to catch up to us. So we can't let our foot off the gas pedal, and as long as we keep doing that, hopefully we'll win some more.
Final question for you is, how do we get a Cellium bobblehead made, and would you rock one on your desk every match?
Oh, absolutely. I'd have one on my desk here, one on my desk in my apartment. I don't know how we go about getting that made, but can we get that done?
Send Paul a message. Somebody's got to know somebody. Call of Duty community, let Twitter know. We need a Cellium bobblehead ASAP. Thank you so much, Slasher, for joining us after another W.
Thank you, guys.
That is Slasher, and it's Atlanta FaZe, your reigning champs, walking away with a hot 3-0. When we come back, though, will we go the distance, or is this going to be another quick one? We got OpTic Texas with a brand new man in the lineup going up against the LA Guerrillas, who are just 1 out of their last 5 matches. We'll see if they can pull off another dub tonight.